Good morning. Greetings from KG Medical University, Lucknow. Today, I am introducing you to cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a condition when this brain is affected by anoxia during childbirth and its functioning is damaged. The characteristics of the cerebral palsy is that whatever is the damage at the time of birth, it is stationary, it is constant, it doesn't increase, and therefore this is essential for the rehabilitation to begin, because if something is increasing or decreasing, then you don't start the rehabilitation process. Rehabilitation means residual problem. So, one important component is that all of us are perceiving, responding beings. There are situations that are occurring in the outside world and we respond to them. Now, there is a normal range of response, and if it is not normal, it becomes abnormal. So, that is called as mental activity, and we have to find out whether there is any component of mental retardation. Which means that the response of the person is subnormal as compared to the normal person. The second important component is which is the cerebellum. The cerebellum is the secretary of the cortex. So, if this is a chalk and I want to keep it here, then I must move to keep it. And this movement has to be coordinated. There is a coordination between various muscles to achieve it. So the secretary must first of all know the intention of the cortex through cerebropontocerebellar tracts. Then it must know the position of the body. So the position of the body comes through the eye, by tectocerebellar tracts, by the vestibular canals, through the vestibulocerebellar tracts, and from the muscle and joints by two types of tracts, the spinocerebellar and the posterior column, which consists of the fasciculus cuneatus and gracilis coming from this. So what is the position of the joint? At what rate it is changing? Cerebellum will come to know. And then it will compare the intention of the cortex to what is the likely position, expected position at time t. From comparing this, it will find out what is the correction needed, and it will send out tracts to what is called as the extrapyramidal system at various levels, which will provide correction of the muscle tone so that the expected position is the same as the desired position. So this is the function of the secretary of the cortex, which we would call as cerebellum. If the expected position, if the position which is expected is not the same as the position that is desired, then the condition is called as ataxia. The third is the extrapyramidal system itself, which must be evaluated. Now, this is extrapyramidal system is basically meant to provide correction of tone. But extrapyramidal system, when it is damaged, especially in neonatal jaundice, then it can cause Parkinsonism or chorioathetoid movement, sudden jerky abnormal movements or slow sanguineous dance-like movements, which are called as athetoid movements. Then you have the motor system and the sensory system. The sensory system consists of special senses and general senses. The special senses are the vision, hearing, speech, smell, and taste. The general systems are exteroceptive, which is pain, touch, temperature, and pressure, and interoceptive, that is position and joint sense. So basically, any patient of CP that comes to you, you have to check about his mental status, whether the balancing systems and cerebellum is all right, whether there are any chorioathetoid movements, what about the motor system and the sensory system, in which you test the special and the general sensations. Amongst the general sensations, the exteroceptive and the interoceptive. Now, this motor system consists of muscles which must be balanced. If they are not balanced, they can produce deformity and spasticity. It consists of joints which can become contracted in non-functional positions. And so this gives you the whole picture of cerebral palsy. And after you define the problem of cerebral palsy in this manner, you proceed to confirm your clinical diagnosis. You define the problem, you define its cause, you define its effect, you find out that it is stationary, it is not increasing or decreasing, and then you plan the rehabilitation. The rehabilitation will use your resources and the patient's resources in an optimal manner to increase the capacity of patient within limits, so that functionally he can take care of himself, that is, activities of daily living. He can earn for himself, vocational rehabilitation. He can socialize, be acceptable socially. He can excel, and he can lead a happy, healthy life overall. So, cerebral palsy consists of help by a group of experts, from surgeons to physicians, to orthotists and prosthetists, to vocational rehabilitation and social experts, from the family around the patient herself or himself, so that there can be huge successes in this great work. When Lord Ram touched Ahilya It is said that the stone Ahalya turned to life. Par sat pad pavan sok nasavan pragat bhayi tap punj sahi. The work of the team that rehabilitates patients of cerebral palsy, I think, does the same thing for so many people who are affected. But the lecture must end with this fact that prevention is better than cure. So overall, good obstetrics is essential for any management of cerebral palsy. Thanks.